Hi, my name is Janet Comeau, and I am a micro cross-stitch artist. For a long time, I've been an avid landscape photographer, and I used to love taking pictures on vacations or rural scenes as I'm traveling around. And the inspiration for my art is really based on those photographs. So I start with the photograph. I evaluate to some degree whether or not it will render itself well into cross stitch. So my process is basically to convert the photograph into a pattern that I can then cross stitch on canvas cloth. Oftentimes, what I might do is something like this, where I'll do a small sample piece just to get the feeling as to whether or not the technique will work with the medium or the photograph will render itself well in the medium as well. And then in the end, I'm left with a beautiful landscape that is 100% done in cross stitch. So I start usually with the photograph, and the photograph is then rendered into a pattern that I use for cross stitching. It's a counted cross stitch process. People who are familiar with embroidery sort of know what that is. Oftentimes though, I've come to be able to recognize when a photograph will do a beautiful rendering or not. Some landscape elements like straight blue skies, beautiful blue skies, or foggy skies actually don't translate well into cross stitch. So I've become more adept at determining where that cross between the landscape itself and the sky, and where those two edges meet, sometimes is where the most interesting patterns emerge in the cross stitch. A friend who's an artist and who is exhibiting at the local store told me when he saw my art that maybe I should go and take my art there. And I said, well, I only produce 1 or 2 pieces a year, so I'm not quite sure I've got the volume. But he encouraged me to come in, and I met with Janice and showed her a couple of pieces straight from the framers, and she immediately grasped onto that. So in the, I think, 5 or 6 years that I've been with the local store, I've started to develop a little bit of a following for my particular genre of art, and have not turned back since.